Jeezy made it, finally.
What up, though?
I haven't seen you in a while, and now we got Trap or Die 3.
Yeah, gotta do it.
Aren't you tired? Aren't you like, hey, I've done it all?
Nah, this is what I love. If I wasn't doing this, I could pretty much do anything else.
Right.
But this is what makes me happy. You know what I'm saying? Touching people, giving them knowledge and talking that talk.
Yeah, talking that talk.
It's like playing ball. You love it.
Yeah, just can't walk away from it, huh?
Right, you just can't leave it like that.
Gosh, so what's different about this? Trap or Die 3 than all the other songs that we've heard from you, and
this is for my fans, you know what I'm saying, for my day one supporters, and really not for nobody else, because you probably wouldn't understand it because we went so far, you know what I'm saying, all the way to church in the streets.
Yep.
From Thug Motivation. So this is really for them. Like, this is me going in the studio and doing what would have been a mixtape, but just putting in an album form with no boundaries, or no A&Rs, or not on a mission to get a #1 radio song. It's just like, it's for y'all. You know what I mean? At the same time, but I feel like the game needs to be restored with that, because people think that trapping is just standing on the block when it's really what you do every day. Like you trapping right now.
Yeah.
Because it's a process.
Business.
Yeah, you keep going. It never stops. It's a revolving door.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give them something, a soundtrack to, just to really get their money to and stay focused and just stay on their grind, because sometimes we all get off.
Yeah.
And it's just that music or that certain thing that just brings you back around, and that's what that is.
what would you say is your one favorite song? I know you love them all,
right?
Because you're an artist,
right?
And this is what you do. But like the one song that you're like, listen, if this is the one that you could listen to on repeat,
right?
You Have My Soul.
Never Settle, which is the end track.
Okay.
And it's basically summing everything up. You know what I mean? So I'm telling you all these different ordeals and all these different situations that I've really been through in real life, in real time. And the moral to the story is just to never settle. You know what I'm saying? To always believe that, no matter what situation you put in, there's always a way, to navigate out of it. Or there's always a way to, just to exceed higher than you think you could possibly do, because it's like you got to push yourself. So you shouldn't just never settle for, what people give you or what you think is supposed to be. And which with Trap or Die has a lot to do with it, because that's the whole moral to the story. You trap or either you die, and dying is, just settling for whatever, you got. But trapping is taking some type of chance, not necessarily a penitentiary chance, but if it's moving to another state, another city, another town, if it's working 3 jobs to pay for school, whatever it is you gotta do, then you trapping, you taking a chance. Like, you're just not settling, What
made you not continue being on the streets and saying, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and rap? Like, at what point did something happen? You're like, you know what?
Oh yeah.
I just can't do this anymore.
All my friends started going to the penitentiary for real.
Yeah.
It was cool when we was coming up, and you go do 3-4 years and be home by 2 summers. But when people start getting real time, 15, 20 years life sentences, it just make you think. And this was something that I always learned through. I learned through music. So it was kind of like hand in hand, because it wasn't hard for me to make that transition, because I loved it. You know what I mean? So I got in the studio and, just had to figure it out myself. But over time, I got better at it. I started to understand it more, but it's who I really was. Like, I already had all these things that people were, rapping to get. So it only made sense, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it was who I really was.
You lived the life.
Right. So it was like easy, it was like jumping in the phone booth and hopping out saying, okay, I'm doing this now.
Yeah.
But it was hard, you know what I mean? I had people that was down with me. I had people that, thought it was funny. You know what I'm saying? I had people that, really was like, oh, you rapping now? Like, it's like, yeah, and when I used to play people my music at first, it was, how I do.
God, it's so nuts.
Yeah,
it's
but
nuts.
now, when I see him, I just feel like, what up, young? I be like, hey.
Oh, you're nice. You're still nice about it.
You gotta kill him with success. Yeah. Ain't no use to me wasting my time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trying to reiterate that, it's done. You see it. Turn on the TV. I'm there.
Success is the best revenge ever.
Right.
It really is. You don't even have to do too much. You don't have to say too much. You just be like, hey, look.
Yeah, I learned that watching. Just some of the people I just respected. It's just like, you got to just focus on you. Like, you can't worry about. And that's the first. Just rule to success.
Right.
It's like, you can't worry about what other people think. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's clearly in the music, because it's just like, it's your goal, it's your vision, it's your dream. Ain't nobody gonna see it but you. And if you don't believe, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, that just only motivated me to go harder, because I'm just like, I just beat this. Ain't no way in the world I can't come over here and do.
Right.
This is easy.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
This is easy. It's something I already love. It's something that I already can do. So, you know, why not?
How do you deal with, you know, people saying, oh, you have Wayne on a song and Wayne can't connect with Black Lives Matter, and, you know, and being that you are, you know, very outspoken when it comes to how you feel for the streets, for the people, you know, do you feel like that you have to defend, or do you feel like, hey, it is what it is, I respect him as an artist?
Everybody has their opinion, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, people just might not understand. And I'm not definitely coming to his defense, because, you know, he is an adult, he understands what he's doing, but people have to understand, like, he's been a superstar so long.
Since
you know
he was a child.
Since he was a child. I grew up on
yes.
Right. So it's just like, you know, he might not, you know, be connected on that level, you know what I'm saying? Because it is difficult, because he's been rich for a long time. Yeah. And he's been, you know, just, you know, living on his own island for a long time. Yeah. And maybe it's something he just don't see. And the only I'm glad that I'm able to see that, because I still deal with people every day. You know, and I hate to say it, I pay for funerals all the time, because these people go out and get in these situations and having life insurance, and that's not nothing wrong, because that's what we do for our brothers. But, you know, I'm that connected because I never, you know, was able to be that rich for that long, or that famous for that long. You know what I mean? So I can't speak for him. Yeah. You know, but at the same time, it's like, you know, sometimes maybe you just might need to have a conversation with him so he can understand. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And I think that's important. I think when we see this, I think it's important. Unlike other people, I feel like it's important to have a conversation. Like, if I had a chance, or if, you know, obviously you could do whatever you want, but I think it's important to, you know, educate one another versus bringing each other down. Absolutely. Because they really might not know.
It's all about knowledge and information.
Right. Absolutely.
And anytime I get a chance to talk to somebody, that's what I give, and that's what I expect in return. Like, I just hate to sit down and have a conversation with somebody that goes nowhere. Yeah. That let me know me and you not on the same level, and I don't need to be wasting my time or my voice, you know, talking to you about nothing. Because sometimes people, I mean, you know, and it's in the street. Like, I'm not a role model, nor do I claim to be, you know what I'm saying? I just understand what it is, because I came from that. So sometimes, you know, people might be on the other side of the fence and feel like what they're doing is right for them. Yeah.
And, you know, I love that you said that you're not a role model. And it takes us to the next point, that even though you don't consider yourself a role model, you still do things like going to Detroit and talking to kids to inspire them. Not because you have a duty as a role model, because you just have a duty as a man.
Of course.
You know, being that you are from the streets, it's like, I think people get that confused. Like, look, just because you do something good doesn't mean that all of a sudden you have to personify this role model figure.
Right. I mean, but I try to do it and keep it under the wraps. I was doing that when I was in the streets.
Long time.
Yeah, I was doing that. Like, I was renting a gymnasium and making everybody from the neighborhood give me money, because y'all out here every day and y'all doing y'all thug thing. But let's at least make sure the kids got Christmas. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, it's just always been a connection with me and kids and the youth, because they are the future. And if you touch them and talk to them while they're young and just, you know, kind of start instilling in them, they kind of understand, because that's how I got it. You know what I'm saying? Just being around older cats.
Really?
Yeah, that's how I got it. You know what I'm saying? I just be around cats and just listen. I was a sponge. I just was like, okay, well, you don't do that. You shouldn't do that. And the rest I got from music. You know what I mean? So that's how I was educating myself on street life and just real life. You feel me? So, you know what I mean? It ain't like that anymore. The music is different and people's subject matter is different. So you have to go to the source and talk to them now, because they're hearing so many different things. You know what I mean? And it's confusing. You know what I mean? And that's why I always try to make sure my music has a straight and narrow, because just like, where else they gonna get it from? And that was a lot to do with even coming back and doing the Trap or Die 3, because it was like, hold up, man, like somebody gotta say something. You know what I'm saying? If you hear a whole bunch of people having a crazy conversation, you go, hold on, man, that's not true. Like, there's no way. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you just listening to the music and you just caught up in the culture, you know, it's easy for you to get caught up, because they don't know they got options, and they don't know that, you know, the world is bigger than their neighborhood. And that's what me going to Detroit telling them kids, like, look, man, if your dreams don't scare you, you ain't dreaming big enough. Don't let nobody sit here and tell you can't never get out of Detroit, or you can't, you know, be who you trying to be. That's not true. There's no way. You know what I'm saying?
Has there been anyone that, or I'm sure there's been kids who have been obviously so inspired by you, but they've seen you later on, right? They're like, I remember when you spoke to me X amount of years ago, and thank you, because have you had those moments?
Yeah, all the time. There's one kid from Atlanta particularly that it was he was in a coma. He fell off the school bus and hit his head, and he was in a coma for like 3 months. And they kept telling me I was one of his favorites, so I went and visited him. And I just talked to him, hours or so, but and the next day, or maybe 2 days later, he woke up, but he remembered the conversation. And I see him around now from time to time in Atlanta. Every time he see me, he be like, "What's up, big dog? Man, I just want to tell you thank you." But it's just crazy how you can touch people and not even know that you have that type of power. But every time I see him, he's getting grown now.
Right.
But every time I see him, I gotta salute him, and it just be like, he tells people that story because I really don't speak on it.
Yeah.
But when he does, they're like, so that's how y'all know each other?
Yeah.
But it's crazy that he'll remember that for the rest of his life, though, just knowing that you took the time out to go, just go holler at him, what I'm saying? So it's dope.
And you know what? I think in hip-hop, I know how much you do for the streets and how much you give back to the community, and I know you don't talk about it a lot, but sometimes I feel like within hip-hop, the problem is, we don't see enough of this. We don't talk about the positives, right? Everyone's so focused on the negative. Oh, who you beef this, that, and I think it kind of continues this cycle. Like, it's nice to hear this. It's like refreshing. Like, damn, he care about kids. Like, that might tell somebody else, hey, I don't have to do X, Y, Z. I could actually look out for the people. And Jeezy did it. So you know what? If Jeezy could do it and he's got the pass, I'm good.
But I'm a real one. So like at the end of the day, like I don't even associate what I do in my private life with, the industry. Because they're not really like me anyway. Like,
oh no, yeah,
they're not. So the things that they care about, I really don't. What I mean? And it's just like I don't associate that. I almost look at it like two separate things. It's almost like going to work and then your personal life. And when it comes to me and my people and my connection with them, it's personal.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with any of that. And it's real because I draw my energy from them because I do my music based on the fact that I want the love that they give. I want to be out and somebody tell me, "Young, you're killing them," or "You changed my life in this way." And that's what it be. It don't be like I love Soul Survivor or I love this. It be like, "Yo, man."
They were great songs, by the way, but still,
but it's like you know what I mean, and it's like that's what you do it for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go out here and you work hard and you put these endless hours in because you want that in return. You want to be appreciated for your craft, and I just think that's what it's about. But I just totally look at the industry separate. Like
I love
if
that.
if I go in the room and I'm not gonna give them me. You know what I mean? I might stand around and listen.
And I think this is how you haven't been caught up in things in general because you just know reality and who's solid for real and what this industry is. We're still entertainers at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I've been in the game long enough to know that
Yeah. Oh,
you're right.
You've been around to know who's got you and who doesn't. Like we just and that's just what it is.
Right.
How's JayZ and you and music? I mean, everybody's been talking about this. It's a dream of you guys working on an album together.
Right. Me and Hope, we talk all the time. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's via text or it's hollering. I just feel like we gotta. I feel like the relationship we do have is not really even based on music. Yeah. Like what we talk about is real life stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like when we kick it, it's real life. It's not like we don't. I know I don't look at it like that. When we just chopping it up, it's real because we got game. You know what I'm saying? So if he says something, I might be like, okay, and I might say some things. He might be like, yeah, you know what? You know what I mean? So to me, it's just just one of those situations where the respect is mutual, and it's just like we walk that same path. So it's just like I see a lot of things he do and go, okay. And I'm quite sure he does, vice versa. But as far as us making an album, I will always be for that. You know what I'm saying? Because some of his best verses that I've heard, he's given me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's because, we just had that respect for each other. And likewise, you know what I'm saying?
I love that it's not forced. It's not a forced collab. It's like, hey, look, if it happens, great. If it doesn't, his fam is good.
Right. All day.
It's just your fans are crazy.
All day.
They're constantly make this happen.
Your fans are crazy, though. They just say the craziest thing. You should do this. I'd be like, man, listen.
Isn't it crazy, the entitlement? And you love them, but it's like sometimes you're kind of like,
But you got to understand that you're the leader, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they followed you to this point, and it's just like everybody has ideas. You know what I'm saying? But if you leading people and you you know you have the vision, you got to stick to that. Like, everybody can tell you how to do it, but they never done it. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to deal with the backlash of, you know, just having these crazy, outlandish ideas because it's consequences, repercussions behind every move you make.
Absolutely.
So if you're not calculated, if you're not strategic, like, you just be all out here. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so I think sometimes they just be like, yo, you should do that. It's just like, man, chill. I got you. No worries. We're going to take care of it. You know what I mean? And then you do something great and they're like, oh, my God. So, you know, it's just, everybody has ideas, man. You just got to stay, you know, on your route because, you know, it's easy to get derailed in this game because, you know, it's worse than the streets because it's like, you know, it ain't really no loyalty in it. It ain't really no real support system. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it gets a little tricky. And it's not a bad thing because that just makes me go harder. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, you know, I'm not looking at it like, you know, but I'm looking at it for what it is. It's like I play it for real.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, this ain't checkers. It's chess for me.
Yeah, the way you move, way you move is very, very strategic. And, you know, just, you know, for those who can recognize it, understand the moves, you know, and I think that's important. I think that's part of your longevity. It's not messy. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to do this now. I'm going to react. You're not a reactive person. And, you know, I think that's great. I think that's it's helped your career. Do you feel, though, at times, like you feel like, you know what, I just want to step in and just remind everybody? Oh, yeah.
That's what dropping this album was about. It was just like, look, man, if this is the topic.
Yeah, I'm here.
And let's talk about it. I'm Isaac Newton when it comes to this. Just know that.
God, I love that, though.
Yeah, it's like, there's no way you're going to talk this better than me. There's no way. So just as long as you understand that.
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah, so that's you know, that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to do that because sometimes, you know, you get busy with other things or you get more creative and, you know what I mean? You just want to try different things and it's just like, but people love you for what they love you for. You know what I'm saying? You can't switch up the message all the time. It's like they want to hear you talk that. And when you talk that, they like, my man's back. Yeah. It's like playing ball, you know. You out there on the court and you know, you hustling like you ain't never, you know, got a check. Like you just out there scrambling and you with everything and they like, oh, he's playing this hard out. And that's what they want to see. So they don't want to see you get too comfortable.
Never. And that's why
I agree.
And I love the fact that you're doing your run in New York. Like, you know, certain artists get to a point, they just, hey, whatever it is. But, you know, this is how a lot of fans get a hold of you and catch up with you. But the fact that you still are out here, right? You got an album, which I'm telling you, you don't have to do music anymore because you've done it all. You've worked with whoever. But the fact that you're out here, you're working, you're doing interviews, you're talking about your art. Listen, you don't have to, JayZ. You could just, it's fine. You can let the others breathe.
Yeah, but then what I'm going to do? I don't want to be nowhere sitting up reading no book on the beach with palm trees and all that stuff.
I'm so mad.
That ain't what I want to do. That was my life, you feel me?
You love working.
I love grind. I'm a hustler. You know, I came from that. You know, every morning is what we doing, how we doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before you go to sleep, it's okay, I got to do this tomorrow. We're going to get that done. And that's what keeps me going. You know what I'm saying? Keeps me motivated because, you know, I keep myself busy. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to plan and strategize, you know, what I want to do just through my hustle. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's just like when you take that away, it's like, you know, who you got? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like I do other things, but you know, this is what I love.
What does JayZ do when we're not seeing you? Like you barely pop up. Like you're very music. Might hear a little bit maybe at a party with JayZ. You guys are like, hey, and it's very low key. Like, what else happened?
I'm moving and shaking, man. I'm out making it happen. I mean, even if it's behind the scenes. If it's business or if it's, you know, real estate, if it's
like it,
whatever, you know what I mean? Just like, you know, just setting up the next 10, 15 years. That's how I'm always thinking. Yeah, all the time. That's what it is, though. When you first got in this, it was a rap game, but it's the music business now. So it's what can you do to elevate your music, but at the same time build your brand and expand, you know, just expand your portfolio. Like that's what it's always about at all times. You know what I'm saying?
Who else do you want to work with?
As far as music?
Yeah, like what?
Man, maybe Sade. Sade.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
That was nice. What else do you say after Sade?
Right. Sade, for real. I would have loved to done a record with Tupac before he passed.
Oh, man.
But I mean, that's really about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like I watch a lot of people how they get down, but I just have to really have, you know, people call me about records all the time, but I mean, for me to actually reach out and call somebody, I would have to just have a lot of respect for your craft. You know what I'm saying? It's like I gotta really be a fan. You know what I mean? Be like, okay, yeah, we should do something. You know what I mean? That type.
Is there anyone right now that's coming up that you really like? You're like, oh, you know what? I actually like them.
Right.
It's not just the same songs.
I like Dave East.
Yeah.
I like the fact that, you know, just how he represents Harlem.
Yeah.
I definitely like Chance. I think he's smart to be a kid. I think his whole strategy is well thought out. It actually makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Who else I like up and coming? From Atlanta, I like Lucci.
Nice.
I like the fact that, you know, he runs around, he does what he does, but he's still a youngin'. I like them kind of, you know, just them grinders, you know, definitely YG.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he
works hard.
Yeah, he embodies that West Coast. He really does, and he gets it. But you know, you got to really be about your hustle for me to really pay attention. You know what I'm saying? You got to really be doing something that I feel like it's like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Because I'm seeing it all before.
Yeah, of course.
You know, you see him float up, you see him float back down.
But we see them. It's up and down.
Yeah, you're like, okay, well,
that
didn't work out. You know what I mean? So, you know, and it's a tough game. Like you gotta really be on your, you know, this a real game.
It's a grind. You know, when people, I'm sure everybody asks like, oh, hey, listen to my music.
Right.
I'm this, I'm that. What's the one advice you give people who obviously are aspiring to be musicians or whatnot?
Mean, if your music is out, I should have heard it already before I saw you. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta hear about somebody before you even meet them and be like, okay. And now you gotta check them out, make sure everything adding up. Okay. And, you know, that's basically it. Because, you know, everybody, I just think these days it's so accessible to get in the studio and get beats and make a song and put it on the internet. So it's like you got to really sift through it to see what's really real. Yeah. You know, because, you know, anybody's able to make something that people might like for, you know, 3-4 months.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it happens.
I have a question. Do you think street hype was better than internet hype? Like when we talk about when you came in the game, right? I mean, literally everybody knew you.
Right.
It didn't matter where you were from. Everyone knew Jeezy. Like I lived on the West. We knew Jeezy before Jeezy got on the radio. Right. Do you feel at all like that kind of, you know, having that kind of backing, it has more of a longevity than, let's say, internet success? Well,
I just feel like that's more like grassroots. You feel me? It's like more like how Obama did his campaign. It was like you're touching people and you're getting people one by one. And when you're touching people and they get to see you and feel you and their big homies talking about you and the baby mamas is talking about you, like that's real life. The homies from the pen calling home. So you really gain, like, I wouldn't even call them fans. They like really riding for you. Right. I think with the internet, it's the push of a button and people like things all the time. So it's just like, I don't know how timeless it could be because you're not in the hearts of like it's women, men, and children. Like you're not just in their hearts, you know what I mean? And the times that you go out and touch people and get them to side with you, like they really vested in you. Like they will sit there and have a full-fledged argument in the barbershop about you. Like, you don't know Jeezy, I know him.
Yeah, like, right. And they're like, did you meet him? No, but I know him.
Yeah, and it's like those are the people that really ride for you because they feel like, you know, they can reach out and touch you, or they have. I just think with the internet, we're going to have to just wait and see because there's been so many things that popped up on it. But I just feel like it's hard to have a real connection with somebody by the push of a button. You know, I think it can work, but I don't know if it can be timeless. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Longevity is
like timeless. Like I'm with you forever. Like I'm from forever be a fan. Yeah. I'm going to forever ride for you because, you know, that's how we rocking. But I don't know if the internet can do that just yet.
I don't know. I think we're all in the waiting process to see what happens. Right. And before you go, because I think it's so important when you talk about, you know, people standing up for what they believe in and their voices. Like, I know you cleared up the whole situation, what you said about Tupac and Trump. I can't even understand how it got that bad, but people are clickbait, right? Again, speaking of the internet, they're not reading, fully understanding,
or listening or watching the whole
clip, the whole interview or whatever it is. But why is it important for our communities to really like understand politics?
I mean, because, you know, the main reason would be that no matter who you vote for, they're not going to be able to change what goes on in our inner city, in our communities, or with our people, because I think that's where we come in at. We have to do that because, I mean, I wouldn't sit back and wait on, Any
president to do anything.
Fix any of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's more business and, taxes and overseas policies. And, there's a lot of things that go on in this world besides us. But at the same time, it's just like we look for the president to fix those things. You know what I mean? It's like even a lot of things I hear about Obama, just like, okay, well, Obamacare didn't work, but okay, he did some other things. So it's like y'all can't give him 3 out of 4. Like, I don't understand.
And we're so hard on each other.
Right. I mean, because when you're going through things and it's really tough out there, you got to blame somebody.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And why not blame the person that's supposed to be in charge? You know what I mean? So I just think, with politics, we just have to really understand, because even with this situation that's going on now, I mean, people are upset. They don't really want to go out and vote. They feel like they shouldn't have to because it seems like coonery or whatever. But if you don't and you let this guy get in office, it's just like, it's only going to get worse before it gets better.
Absolutely.
Because there's no way that, just the way he moves and, you could tell. Like, I'm a pretty good judge of character. That's why I think I'm here and I'm not in the penitentiary or in a pine box. So it's just like, I can't even look him in his eyes on TV. So that lets me know what type of person he is. And at the end of the day, it's like, he's a businessman. And to be a real businessman, to be as successful he is, you got to step on people all the time and not even care. Like, not even think about it.
No feelings, no emotions,
no, it doesn't
nothing.
Matter. It doesn't matter. It's business. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like, I get it. We're in the deficit. We owe people money and all that. But it's just like, we got so many other issues that, that ain't about money. I'd rather be rich in personality and just integrity than to have a gazillion dollars.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't see none of that in him.
No.
And he has plenty of money.
Yeah. Apparently didn't pay his taxes either.
Right.
While the rest of us are paying taxes.
Hey, the man looked right to you on TV and told you that.
Did.
Hey, look, of course that's what I did. Like, why wouldn't I? Everybody does it. So he's also dry snitching. So you want your president dry snitching, I guess. You feel me?
Yeah, no, I love it. And I think it's also important that people understand, like, when you're voting, you're not only voting just like obviously the president, because that's a whole different topic. But when you vote, understand the policies that you're voting for, because that is a direct correlation to you, right? State, local voting, that is what matters. I understand the debate about you're not really technically voting for the president directly, because if you really understand the system, but state and local policies, you are voting for that.
Right.
And so if you, whether it's something for the schools or something like that, if that's something that you care about,
you got to get out and vote. You gotta let your voice be heard.
You know what I mean?
But I think we've been ignored so long. I just think when situations come up like this, people rather just ignore it than to deal with it, because it's almost like it ain't my problem. But it is. It definitely is. And I don't want to be in a country where this guy's running around and just right. You know how they say too. He cool now. Imagine what he does when he gets in the office.
God.
You feel me? Like,
we're going to have to leave.
Oh, man.
I appreciate you so much for
sure.
stopping
Likewise.
by.
Likewise.
Trap or Die 3.
Right.
I'm just, you know what, JayZ, every time you come around, you always have something substantial to say, which I appreciate. Thank you for, the way you move out here. It's very respected.
For sure.
Thank you.
Likewise.